travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true, you're a pal and a confidant.
And this is Chantel, and we are Vida.
And welcome back to our show. We're so excited we have some special guests with us here today, from different generations.
That's a true story. I'm so glad. No, like no shade.
No shade?
No tea, no shade. I'm glad we have that because there's different levels of like wisdom in this room.
There are. And let's go ahead and start with the wisest of the wise, Fernando Mendez. Fernando was born in Bogota, Colombia. He is a longtime resident of Philadelphia with decades of community engagement and public service.
Clap, clap.
His community work includes television hosts on the show En Portada on Telemundo from 2005 to 2014, y'all. This is intense. Did you know he was also one of the founding members of the Hispanic Chamber of Commerce and the Mexican Cultural Center? He actually was the editor of El Sol, Latin newspaper, so he can see when you write crazy on the internet.
Yeah.
And he's the host here at USA Radio of The Round Table. It's a political forum exploring issues and ideas in regional, national, and international affairs. Unless we're on the show, then we just make it what we want. So welcome, Fernando.
Thank you.
Hand clap.
Lengthy introduction.
You know, we got to do some justice for the guests. And we also
I
have...
like the way she said decades.
The only
You caught that?
I was going to go back to that. Yes, decades.
I got you. I got your back.
You know,
thank you.
we just... It's you can't buy it. You can't
No,
buy
you
it.
really can't.
No.
All jokes aside, I think that's awesome, and I think your bio is awesome.
I really do, too. I even skip parts because, I didn't want to age them.
Oh, absolutely. Skip to the end.
I'm just kidding, but it is really inspiring, and we're like so excited to have you here. We also have with us Britt James Carpenter. Yes, you have to say the James because it makes him so bomb.
Yep.
He is and was born and raised in Lehigh Valley, go PA. He has a Bachelor of Science degree in English and Education, so he too will call you out for acting crazy with minors in marketing and psychology. And you know what? This is very influential in the field that he works in today, as he is changing lives every day. Britt is a longtime resident of Philadelphia and has been an advocate focused on the betterment and cohesion within the community. We're going to talk about some of the amazing things that he does with some nonprofits and the work that he does today. But before we get into all of that, just want to remind you that Britt was a central focal character in a docuseries by Voice of America called The Damage Done. And you guys, talks about the effects that the heroin and opioid epidemic has had on us. And we're going to talk about in segment number 2 today. So with all excitement and y'all can't do hand claps on here. Well, hand clap for Britt James. Pew, 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 pew. Pew, pew, Britt James. Britt James also has the show Be a Voice on USA Radio. When does that come on?
I don't know.
We promise we're all professionals.
Wednesdays and Fridays at 2 p.m.
There you go.
Okay, that was my guess.
I'm sorry, it's early.
It is
It's
early. We pulled you in here
Plus,
early.
like I had pistachio in my mouth at the time.
Right.
He
You
wasn't
it
ready.
happens.
Fridays and Wednesdays at 2 p.m.
And Fernando, I didn't ask you. When does your show come on?
10 a.m. every day, except Wednesday is not live.
And Saturday, because 10 a.m. on Saturday is us. Okay, so let's get into the show today. We're really, really excited to have our guests on the show. This is something that we do every week when we have our show. We like to start the first segment out by appreciating people in the community or those who have been supportive or different businesses and such. We call this our shout out of the week. We will give you guys time to think of your shout out as Chantel and I do our first shout out.
You want to go first?
I knew you were going to do that. Okay, you know what? I will do my shout out first.
Okay, you go, boo.
Okay. This week I would like to shout out Diana Sabatal. She has her show coming up on USA Radio. She is a chef, amazing Latina chef who talks about how to cook amazing meals. First of all, she won, what was it, Top Chef on the Food Network?
Like the ultimate chopped.
The ultimate chopped on the Food Network. And she is going to be joining us on USA Radio on November, did we say the 9th?
I think so.
You guys need to stay tuned because that's going to be a great show.
With us. Yep.
Chantel, your
It's
shout
my turn
out
already? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think she saw this coming, but I'm going to shout out Julie and her new TikTok page. And the reason why I'm shouting out her TikTok page is this, right? I feel like in society and around
Wait,
friends,
friend, back up.
Yes.
Britt James does not know what a TikTok is. I see it in his face.
Okay, so let me explain, right?
Do the
I
explain.
don't either.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, well we knew that.
That's why I looked at Fernando. And I thought to myself, if he knows what it is, there's something wrong here.
Okay, so a TikTok is how many seconds do they give you? First of all,
Okay, anywhere from 15, you can do less, 15 to 60 seconds. The
Okay.
shorter videos do the best. So it's a social media platform.
a social media platform where you go on there and you can post to me like anything. Julie's been doing a lot of comedy, funny, fun stuff. Example, one of her videos has two avocados dancing to Galiki Takati. Like it's fun. Sorry, listen.
Judge your mom, guys.
We'll show
Judge
you.
your mom.
We'll show you maybe during
We'll
a
show
break
you in the
or
break. We'll
something
show you in the break.
to understand. It's
I get the picture.
okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, Julie is very
I have
quirky
these
and
two bottles.
yes, and then we can make like a thing with them.
Oh my
exactly.
gosh,
You
this is
sing.
epic,
Then
you
you can
guys.
sing, "Ave
Please
Maria."
watch the live. Please watch the
So
live.
listen, so excuse me. The reason why I'm shouting out Julie is she's very quirky and fun, right? We already know that here on the show. But Julie has a side to her that she wishes, I think, that she could express to the world. And for a while, she would hold it inside because she felt people would look at her like, what is wrong with you, child? But she is embracing her inner fun. And that's why I love Julie and her TikTok page. Like, literally. Everything I
you.
think that has been in her mind that she's wanted to do and not be judged for, but she was scared to be judged for, she's doing. And that's why I love it.
You know what? I really do appreciate that. And
Yeah.
that's because I really think that it's okay to be weird. And I'm tired of hiding my weird, right?
Yeah.
So be quirky, be weird, be creative. And TikTok has allowed that outlet for me. So thanks. I really
Yeah.
appreciate that.
You're very welcome.
Oh, thank you. Very nice. Okay. So let's go to Britt. Britt, who is your shout out this week?
Whoa.
Somebody in the community, someone in your heart. You know what? Sometimes we make people up.
I do that a lot. I mean, people, most of my friends.
They live in another nation, the imagination.
Imagination, another world. I guess I gotta just give a shout out to actually this week to the entire PPD. I mean, they've dealt with a lot of stuff out there this week. There's been a lot of violence on our streets over the last 7 days, and in a short period of time, and they really came through, and and sort of the community. I guess I gotta give the shout out to the community because it was the community speaking up that brought the shooters to to justice at this point, that they're in custody. So I think that's it, because I was looking at all the positive things that were happening recently, and all of a sudden like a big crap storm came.
Right.
So, but I give a shout out to the community and the police for what dealing with what they've been dealing with
Oh,
recently.
That's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah, and I hear also they have to deal with the different politics in that office of the DA. So that's another story. But
Yeah. Oh yeah. As I say, don't get me started there.
Yeah, we can go.
Yeah. But yeah, it's where I think I think the community gets overlooked, especially here in North Philly. A lot of times, because you heard about it and all of a sudden it's gone, but you have to realize that people spoke up, and that's why
Right.
this
Yeah.
happened. So I think it's able for people to be able to have a voice, and so the community really kicked some butt this week.
Nice.
And that's good because the sentiment is normally I didn't see nothing, mind your business, everybody goes in their houses, yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
Care about yourself type of thing.
I think it's maybe more so too because these were children. This
Yeah.
was these were babies,
it was like 2 years old, right?
2
Was
years
one
old.
of them.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, community.
I like that.
that's
Thank you.
great.
Yeah, I don't think you can be able to top it, Fernando, but I'm gonna give you a chance.
Go ahead.
I mean, I got your back today, but
I didn't know we were competing. So not fair to. Oh, there was a race going on.
I'm just gonna have my pistachios.
Yeah, you may.
He really does have pistachios, guys, if you're not watching it live.
Well, I have a local journalist, Dania Henninger from Billy Penn, and she's doing a great job. That's a small outfit, but they have had a tremendous impact. They do a lot of good stuff. And now they're attached to the WHYY, so that helps.
Right.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so they're great.
Oh, I like the
So, and I use a lot of their stuff on my show, a lot of the local news and so on. That's what they specialize in.
Very nice, you guys. We have done a lot of work actually with Billy Penn too, and I can also say a great outlet. Love them. So thank you guys for participating in our little game that we do every week. Really appreciate that. And if you were shouted out today, make sure you reach out to us and you let us know a little bit more about you so that we can talk about you on our show. So we like to talk about, millennials on our show. And our show this week, the focus of our show is we call Sancocho. Sancocho is when we have our episode where we talk about a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and we put it all together in the end so it tastes really good to the listeners, right? So today, since we have some wisdom in the room, we wanted to ask first, what advice would you seasoned folk give to millennials?
Or like or even your 21-year-old self or your younger self.
Advice to millennials. Or 20,
Get a job.
20 young person.
See, no, that's why because
First off, that's why we look at Fernando first.
Get a job, yes. To any young
Here's my
person,
protein shake.
especially like in the Hispanic community, get a good education, and that would serve you for life. So if you have an advantage, right now, if you're in a position to get the best possible education, take advantage. If you have to struggle, look for ways to get help. Because there are agencies, Esperanza College is always trying to help people. Community college in Philly is a more reasonable way to get an education. So it's not only the pens and the drexels that are so expensive to get into.
And you know what? We were talking about this last night. Just, preparing for the show, a group of our friends, we were asking each other what the best advice that we had gotten was. And my husband said it was, one, get a good education, and two, find a job. Like Britt said, get a job that will pay for your education. So my husband has been working at Temple Hospital, and they're paying for his education. And you know what? It's been a huge blessing in our household. So
Yeah, tuition reimbursement is important.
yeah.
There's a lot of jobs out there, I think, it's like what you said in the beginning about, embracing your weirdness. I think it's like, just be yourselves.
Yeah.
It's so important. Be yourselves and do what's going to make you happy. Pursue your passion. I think so many people forget that nowadays, that they're doing what everybody else wants them to do.
Yeah.
And they're not doing what they truly want to do, and you don't do your passion, then you're just going through the motions.
Yeah.
Why are people doing that? Why are people doing what everyone else wants them to do? I have an idea, but you tell me.
I have a lot of ideas on that, but I think the major one is because acceptance. They want to be accepted, or they're afraid of going against the grain, or disappointing somebody and not being the person that they, they're living up, or expectations are placed on them,
Totally. And you know what? We're going to actually talk about that. We like to end our show and we're not ending now, you guys, so stick with us. But we like to end our show every week with just a little bit of inspiration. And our inspiration this week speaks exactly to that, defining your purpose and really embracing your passion. So you guys, thank you for being here. We're so excited. I hope all of you listeners are going to get a whole lot out of the show, because this is something new, something different. We love our Sancocho episodes, and you all do too. So stick with us, because after this break, we're going to talk more about the documentary that Britt was in just about a year ago.
Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Hey besties, welcome back to the show. This is Julie. We have also Chantel here, Fernando from the Round Table, and we have Britt James Carpenter from Be a Voice. We're so excited that you guys are here with us today. We have did I say that wrong?
No.
He laughed at me. We have our Sancocho episode today, so a little bit of this, a little bit of that. If you're a millennial, if you're not a millennial, today you're going to get a lot from the show. And so, Chantel, I wanted you, because I feel like you were really passionate about the experience that we had last Saturday. So I wanted you to introduce this segment so that we can really highlight some of the amazing work that Mr. Britt James Carpenter is doing in our community.
Oh, jeez.
Yes.
Yeah, spotlight.
And you can't get my name wrong. My name is Easy. You know.
Wait, was that shade? A shot at me?
No, not at all.
Calling him
Take
Chris.
it as you want.
yeah,
That's
you
it,
were calling
So
him.
backstory real quick. When
Chris,
I first
Chris.
met
Yeah,
Britt,
what the
I
heck?
thought his name was Chris.
Yeah, now she opens that door.
Had him on my IG story, like Chris and
Texted
Dave.
me about
Yeah.
some Chris.
Chris.
Yeah.
This
You
guy
know-
Chris is amazing. We gotta have him on the show. We gotta be on his show.
Wait a minute, but your husband's name is Chris.
And I had made a comment, and I guess it wasn't heard. Like, oh, 2 Chris's, but it must have just been because there was music and loudness and stuff going on
That's
at this
what
festival.
it was. Were there drinks?
Yeah. So,
As a matter of fact,
What
she
happened?
did have a mom cocktail because
I did.
it was one of her
See?
first ones
In a long
time.
Yeah.
As a
Yeah.
matter of
It was
fact.
inside the pineapple.
Yes, I didn't want to say that, but yeah.
See, because you've been breastfeeding, so
Yeah.
that
Yes.
hit you hard.
I remember this now because she told me that. I'm like, oh, she's a little tipsy.
You know what? Yes.
Let's get her
Blame
on
it on the
air.
juice. Got you feeling loose.
Blame it on the alcohol.
Let's bring that song back for a minute. So last weekend we ran into Britt on Fernando's show last week. Already 2 weeks ago. Last week, 2 weeks ago. And he did let us know that a documentary that they had done in series, if I'm correct, on YouTube.
Well, it was done
Voice.
Voice of America.
Right, Voice of
Yeah.
America.
And they did it for their projects page.
And then so one of the series or episodes was based on here in Philadelphia. And Britt ended up being a part of that. And they took your series or the parts that you were in and put it into a 57-minute
57 minutes, yeah.
documentary.
57
She knew
and, like,
exactly.
8.
Yeah.
Yes, there's some things that I'm very good at remembering, and some things I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot to do that.
Why I left this part up to you.
Yeah. So he invited us. We went last Saturday, and I have to say it really was an eye-opening experience for me. Before I get into what that did for me, I wanted to give you an opportunity to maybe speak on it. Tell the listeners why they need to go and even find this, because it's still
Followed, and they followed the work that I do with my nonprofit and my mission on the street and the work that I do with people. So it was really just a way to humanize the epidemic.
yeah.
To, put a human, side to it, to
Yeah.
show people that it's not just, the stigmatized words like junkies and,
Yeah.
Right.
and there's people. At the end of the day, we're all the same, and that everybody's somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's sort of, one of the reasons I did it. There was a lot of other reasons, but that was one of the main reasons.
Right.
You know what was striking to me, and I think it's worth mentioning, Britt, you didn't go out and audition for this. They, Voices of America, came and, they wanted to do this research. They wanted to understand the epidemic and how it's hitting specifically the Kensington area. And they saw this man doing great work. So he was doing the work to the point where they were drawn to him. He didn't audition. He didn't go to a casting call. This is literally something that he had been immersed in already.
Actual reality.
That's
Nothing
huge.
scripted, yeah.
That changes the paradigm.
It was interesting because they approached me on the street and I said no.
Yeah.
I was like, sort of actually pushed the camera out of my way. I'm like, get the camera out of my face. And they told me about their prequel they did a year before on it. And they said, check it out. Because I told them that I'm not about exploitation of what's
Right.
happening out there. I'm about awareness. And it was interesting because they came back and we chatted some more. And then I agreed to do it. But they had already been filming parts of it where I was in and I didn't even know it because I was not even engaged with them in any way, shape, or form.
They didn't know either, did they?
I think the one producer knew at the time because he was focused on me
Ah.
because he came around to me and then he came back and he wasn't actually there last weekend. It's a shame, but it was interesting the way it all came about. I had no interest in doing that. I don't want to be on camera. I'm kidding. I have a face for radio. I don't
Oh,
have a face for camera,
no. Look at that
I'm like
hair.
Fernando.
False humility.
Then the hair. Oh, yes.
He's asking for praise.
Oh, I don't have to ask for
okay.
praise.
So the wisdom in the room has said.
Oh, that's not wisdom. That's the sarcasm.
Same
Big
thing.
difference. Yeah.
Same thing,
Es
Julio.
lo mismo.
My mom says it all the time.
Yeah. I have to say, watching that's exactly what that docu-series did, or even that documentary did that we watched last Saturday, called The Damage Done. If people are now tuning in and did not hear Julie give the name of it in the first segment, it really did show me the human side to it. It put a name to the faces that, you might drive past. And I have to share something that I came across on this app Nextdoor. I don't know if you guys are aware of it. Nextdoor is an app where literally it's news about your neighborhood, your community. So I'm in the Ronhurst area, so all the neighborhoods around there, I get the news from that section. Peer news, because that's what you post. So somebody said that there was a break-in and somebody stole one of their friend's purse and documents out of a famous Mexican restaurant over there in the Northeast. So lock up your stuff. And then comments just kept coming and kept coming and kept coming. Now, this is
It
after I
wasn't
saw
Los
this documentary.
Margaritas, was it?
It might have could been. Yeah, it was. Yes. Now, so people, they're commenting and this thread just went on for a very long time. So I had to come back. I'm staying with my parents right now because my husband's in Nigeria, who's getting ready to be on his way back. Shout out to him, working over there with presenting trauma information to the schools out there. So I've been staying with my mom. I had to come back because I had a doctor's appointment I had to take my daughter to. And the phone dings, and I get a notification. I'm at a red light, and I look at it, and somebody had posted on this thread speaking badly about people who are addicted. And it even got to the point where this person posted a photo, an edited photo of somebody hunched over.
Oh.
And I'm a little angry right now as well, but what she said was, I'm actually making a art out of this, and it's called The Art of Addiction. And when I tell you I was so angry, especially after watching The Damage Done.
Right.
Especially after getting, not that me personally, I haven't walked past anybody on the street they need to get it together. I've always felt hurt and sad for them. Mm-hmm. But to actually watch this, it's taking me a little bit further past the hurt and sad. It's giving me more passion inside.
So you know what? That
Nice.
brings a question to mind, and I actually want Fernando to answer.
But so here's the thing.
What is it?
So don't forget that question though. When I tell you I wanted to go off on her, but my baby's in the car and we have to drive, and I wanted to tell her, this is somebody's child. This is somebody's aunt or uncle. Mm-hmm. This is somebody's niece or nephew. If we were to give up on everybody that was out there, people have turned their lives around. They've gone, they're in recovery. Why would you do this? This is people. Somebody already got her. I didn't have to.
Somebody got her?
Somebody got her. By the time I got back to the app to finally somebody
name
got
Liz?
with her. I'm going to go back and look, and I'll see for you.
Yeah, I do that.
But somebody finally got her, and they said basically the same thing. This is somebody's child. Could you imagine if they saw, that's her? And if you've never dealt with somebody that has gone through addiction, you need to back off and just relax a little bit.
The issue is greater
deleted
than
the photo,
that.
but it is.
It's greater than that. It's about the, like you said, exploitation of the heroin and opioid epidemic. I'm glad you shared that story, Chantal, and it really does touch me too because of exactly what we learned being in that forum. Fernando, as a journalist, and having the experience that you do, in terms of reporting and in terms of sharing news, especially as it comes to politics, what do you think the difference in these reports would be in terms of exploitation and
giving information
advancing and informing? Yeah,
it's a very narrow edge you have to walk as a journalist, and that's one of the controversies with the Voice of America documentary, where they put the cameras in front of people who are in pain, bent over. And some people, I know people who are not happy to see that because it feels like exploitation, even if that's not the intent, because you're illustrating something that you need to let people know how we're dealing with the problem and so on, and the tasks that Britt and other people have in the community to deal with this, because the government doesn't do enough, and that's why individuals have to get involved, private agencies and so on. So it's very. I don't know. I have a difficulty sort of separating that and publicizing something that can be painful to an individual. And so, where do you draw the line? And here's like the whistleblower case in Washington.
Right.
Do you reveal this guy's name and put him in jeopardy? It could be a woman. I don't know.
It's funny that you mentioned that because that's actually one of the topics for segment number 3. So this is really going as planned. See, we're learning about you guys. We're learning. So that's a great thought. And so Britt, I thought the producers did a really good job at not exploiting. There were instances in which they did demonstrate or just show some difficult moments.
Right.
And actually when the one moment that I remember, and go back to the series, you guys, it's on YouTube, check it out, was when I saw life coming back into somebody, and your reaction was priceless. I'm expecting all this extreme emotion to come out, and you were just so calm. Where does that come from?
I mean, I had to remove, every element of myself from the fact that there were cameras around. The cameras did pull back a lot, so I had to give the producers that. They listened to me. When I said pull back, they pulled back. When I said don't print that, they didn't print. But there is a part to media that media is still going to be media, and they're still going to publish certain things. I mean, you see it on Channel 6. You see it on, Channel 10. You see it worse. But anyway, for me, it's just that's what I do. It's what I'm meant to do. It's, sort of my mission. It's, and plus, and I've done it so many times that I've reversed so many people that you're just waiting to see the life, and when you do, you just go on about it because you can't make a big deal about it. They're back.
Right.
There's another chance.
You know what?
There's hope right there.
Yeah, and I feel like, and I'm not trying to compare. I'm more drawing a parallel. But with the sickness that I face, I lose consciousness a lot, and there's nothing like when you wake back up and you're conscious, and everyone's in your face, and there's so much dramatics and emotions. It's just too much. It's overwhelming. So I did really appreciate that moment just from the perspective that I had. So you guys stick with us because in segment number 3, we're going to be talking about outrage marketing. We're going to be talking about a little bit of politics. So get ready, Fernando. He gets excited about that. And we're going to be talking about some of the outrage marketing campaigns that are going on in mainstream media with this. So come back in about 30 seconds.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant.
They call me Maxie, but I prefer tripod. I was your above-average four-legged homie, and then wham, bam, minivan. Some people pity me. Now that's lame. I still run, fetch, and swim. And the ladies love me. I'm the ultimate wingman. Just don't ask me to high five.
If you love them enough to suck the snot out of their nose at 4 a.m., then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Thank you for being a friend.
Hey besties, you're listening to the Vida show. If you're just tuning in, today we're doing our Sancocho episode, and we're really excited to have guests Fernando and Britt on our show. If you are new to Usla Radio, you may not know that there's opportunity for you to get involved. Many of you have constricted budgets. Don't worry, so do we. So you can go ahead and sponsor the Vida show for as little or as much as you'd like. Reach out to us at contact@viedavida.com if you'd like to be involved, if you know someone in the community who would like to be highlighted, or if you just want to know more about us. Without further ado, let's get back to what we were talking about. Today, we are going to go into the next segment talking about outrage marketing. And as it pertains to the heroin and opioid epidemic, it seems that exploitation is how we engage in outrage marketing in a lot of our media outlets. And so, Britt, you were talking about how to avoid that without exploiting people. And what really keeps you going is something that we were talking about in the break. And I felt like the listeners need to hear it because it was so inspiring to me.
My
I kinda
bad,
got
asking
chills.
questions off air.
No,
Sorry.
Chantel has the best questions, right? And then she asked it as soon as we went to break, and I was like, oh, friend, I'm going to ask this again. It's so good.
So Britt, what keeps you going? Like, no, literally, that's literally what I asked him. What keeps him going?
Yeah, and I just said it's, because I always want to be better than the day before. I always want to experience something different. Status quo isn't something I'm comfortable with. I like to hustle. I like to get things done, I also like to wind down and have that time. But like I said, if you're getting up every day and you're just like, oh, another day, it's not worth it. I want to get up every day and be like, another day, let's check this out. Plus,
The sun is shining, the tank is clean. The tank is clean.
Are
Sorry.
you kidding? No, I get it. That's the way it should be, I mean, not every day is like that. Some days it's hard to get out of bed, hard to get your head off the pillow. But, compared to where I came from, it's a hell of a lot better getting out of bed nowadays. So,
Wow. It's super inspiring.
Thank
I
you.
actually want to hear the same thing, Fernando. What keeps you going?
The news
Yeah.
and coffee in the morning.
Good coffee. What's your
Okay,
favorite?
quick. Yes, thank you. That was going to be my question. What do you drink normally?
Coffee, yes.
Coffee.
No brands or nothing? All right, fine. Okay. Whatever.
Don't you have like a specific blend or something? I don't drink coffee, but blends.
I don't know, whatever.
Like Bustelo
No,
or Starbucks?
I don't have Bustelo. I have had Bustelo, but I don't have it right now. But,
Maxwell House.
Belong.
I buy
Belong is so strong.
whatever. Whole Foods has all these choices they give you.
Oh.
You fill the bag and
Fresh beans?
that you ground. And
He's
Okay.
a whole food junkie. Didn't you
Okay.
know that, Fernando?
Oh, okay. I'm
I
learning.
spend a lot of time in Whole Foods.
By himself.
And
Also,
I
that's
like-
how you look so good.
I like
Take care of
sushi
your
there,
body.
too.
Okay.
I sushi at Whole Foods. It's a lot of stuff is very expensive there.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, it can be a cheap lunch if you choose the right things.
That's another problem with America, though. The healthier foods are more expensive,
Mm.
and the terrible foods
And not
are.
always accessible
That's happening.
for everybody. Yeah.
Yeah. But on another level, just like right now, the news is something supremely interesting. If you're a journalist right now, it's a lot of hanging fruit, like low-hanging fruit that you can. There's no need to search for news. You wake up and it's just raining.
In your face.
It's raining on you, because this president provides a lot of fodder for that.
So, what's on your mind right now as it comes to the impeachment hearings or the impeachment inquiry?
Well, one thing that should happen, even though people are saying hesitant because it's too late, it will take such a long time. He needs to be brought into account. This
Right.
is what you did.
Accountability.
He cannot just leave the president because he lost the election. The public needs to know this. He committed high crimes and misdemeanors, which is impeachable.
Yeah.
And when he did this phone call with Ukraine, and he called in public for China to help him with an investigation, just those two things.
And there's more.
And he's Attorney General going all over the world, Giuliani going all over the world too, Pompeo. He's got a whole
There's a list.
list of people that should be in jail right now. So
And so I feel like what happens is there are two sections of journalism. There's this really informed and, like we said, not exploiting. And then there's those who exploit what's going on. And so they create outrage marketing. Chantal, you brought up, oh, no, you know what? I think it might have been Josh brought up the outrage that fell behind the last debates. Instead of talking about what was being debated, there was a huge issue that Andrew Yang did not have a tie on. Is that what we need
that's
to be talking
ridiculous.
about?
Right.
no, No,
That's outrage marketing.
No, we don't even waste time on
It's
that.
outrage marketing.
I mean, in 2019 going to 2020, that's not even an issue.
Right.
Exactly.
You know?
And so what is happening is people are distracting from the real
Yes.
issues.
Right.
And they're talking about smaller, super inconsequential.
That's because people focus on personal things and not the issue at hand. They attack the person personally.
Right.
That's so
So-
true. Instead of listening to the message, and you can see that from politics to somebody posting a story on their IG page where they're trying to put some jewels out there, and people aren't listening to the message. They might sometimes listen to delivery, and it's like, wait a minute,
Right.
can we pull back the layers a little bit and see what was actually being said there?
Even Kamala's issue with Warren for, her not supporting, any thought
Removing-
that she,
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
any thought that she had, like that's personal.
Yeah.
Why are you not saying, where do you
distracting.
stand on this issue?
It's not a main issue.
Exactly.
Keep away from that. And the thing is, right now the number of Democrats should be reduced at least by half. Just like, please, we don't need all these different voices. Fortunately, it's happened so naturally. They're running out of money. The lower rank, and so they will be gone very soon.
Filtered out.
Yeah.
As a journalist, right, and having a journalism background, Fernando, would you have thought that we would be where we are today with outrage marketing and the media the way it is? Like, what are your thoughts on that? Because I know there's rules that a lot of us who are not in journalism might not know. There's certain rules of what you can do, cannot do, and things that you follow that might not be written.
That is what it has sort of going overboard, out of whack, or whatever you want to say about it. Because it used to be you abided by certain rules strictly. Who, where, how, when you started writing an article and saying this is what we're doing.
Right.
The facts, please. And now so many articles, especially on television right now, few people are reporting just the plain news. Everybody's is just putting out editorials. Everything comes loaded with a point of view.
It's
And
always
that-
opinions.
Oh, I see that so aggressively on Fox News. So aggressively to the point where it's hard to watch. It's like I didn't get a lick of knowledge from this. I just know how you feel about this issue. And I feel like we talk about this every time we talk about politics. It's like, Fox News, you're driving me crazy. But I'll let them be because they played the World Series yesterday. So I'll let them have their day.
Well, they are defecting from the Trump ranks. So Trump News is no longer a mouthpiece for Trump.
Right. They're not. And so how do you feel about this transition? And I feel like that's, sometimes we feel like too little too late, but this is going to be really important as it comes on the next election cycle. How do we feel about this disconnect between him and his conservative media outlets?
What do you think?
Well, you know what I think. He needed to go 2 years ago. So here we are sitting having the same conversation
Yeah.
that we were having within his first year
Yep.
of presidency. Nothing got better. Everything got worse. I think the disconnect is the fact that nowadays people are just like, all right, this is getting out of control. This is getting out of hand. There's got to be something real news once again to report on.
Well,
Right.
the main
Is
issue
it-
with him is that he was not qualified to be president to begin with.
We talked about this
Preach.
when it happened. He was a businessman. He was a reality TV star. He should never have gotten this far. The only actor that was in the White House was Ronald Reagan, and
But he had been governor for
Right,
two
he had
but he had a
experience.
background. He's
Yeah.
so heck, Schwarzenegger could have stepped in there and done a better job.
You know what?
Absolutely.
you know?
Hindsight, 2020.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So, so that's what I think. I think, their disconnect is for the simple fact that they're getting smart and they're saying, hey, we got to go. He's a loaded gun. His finger's on the trigger every day. We
Yeah.
got to step back a little bit.
Right. Okay, so we're going to take a little bit of a transition and talk a little bit more about outrage marketing, but this time it doesn't pertain so much to politics. There has been a little bit of a trend online where people are not in support of Always, the
Okay.
feminine products brand. And it's because they are taking off the female logo from their packaging and so that it can be more inclusive. What do we feel about this outrage marketing? Do we feel that Always didn't need to make, yes, we are here to make you feel uncomfortable, gentlemen. We are.
No, I just got to ask you a question.
we're fairly certain that some of these products we don't need.
Yeah. Like, I'm thinking to myself, I don't need this product, so why would you take off their symbol?
And can I be honest, as a woman who has used Always, I didn't even know there was a symbol on there.
I didn't know
tried
it was
Googling to
either.
find where it was.
All right, and let's get
Where was
honest
it?
then.
I don't know.
Let's get on.
Maybe
Let's be more
packaging.
honest. Who uses Always, and what is it used for?
So this is and I did some research.
Answer my question.
So,
So
it is
it's for women, right?
when they are having their menstrual release,
Right.
their period.
So
period.
what I have learned is, and tell me if this is getting ridiculous, you guys.
So who else are they including?
So if you have not had bottom surgery, but you now identify as a man,
Yeah, for women who have transitioned.
Right.
who
you
are now
can
trans-
still experience your menstrual cycle. And I'm not sure that any of them were outraged that there was a female logo on
And
the box.
that's the thing sometimes. Sometimes I feel like these outrage, and I don't know either if they were actually outraged either. I feel like sometimes social media just automatically jumps on things, and the community in which they're claiming it offended was not offended.
They didn't even care. Didn't
Like,
even know.
I see this so much. Example, last night I'm scrolling on the Shade Room. I go on the Shade Room and all those pages a lot. And supposedly Bed Bath & Beyond, maybe, it might have been them, they have black pumpkins.
Yes.
And they claimed there was outrage in the
They
black
had to take
community
them off.
because it looked like blackface. And I'm looking at this like, nah, but this don't look like blackface. If they would have put red lips on it and made it look like a Sambo, then fine, yes.
They had to pull the black pumpkins.
But I'm like,
Really?
this doesn't, and I don't do Halloween or anything, but still, like, I'm like, no, this is too much of a reach. Like,
Nobody
who
was
is actually
mad.
outraged? And if you read the comments going through the Shade Room, they're like, we're not mad about this. Like,
Yeah.
what? I don't see it. Yeah, I don't know.
That's really, it's ironic because now people are making issues that aren't
There.
They're not there.
And it's distracting us from the things that we really do need to be talking about.
And that's what I'm scared about, you guys. We need to be really intentional about where we're paying attention online. And you know what? When I saw some of these viral posts about even the Always marketing, I didn't feel the need to comment because I don't need the algorithm to think that I care about that. It's
True. Get
really
off my
sad.
page.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
So okay,
Getting
we
feminine product ads next I know about it.
you actually might. Like side note, every time I'm at digital ads trainings, everybody says the same thing. The moment you say something, you're getting
Yes.
these ads. So it's getting creepy. You guys stick with us. The last round is going to be so much fun. We're going to learn more about the characters in this room, and we're going to give you a little bit of inspiration. So after this short break, we're going to do 21 questions.
Thank you for being a friend.
20 too many.
I do want to.
Again, your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant.
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
Was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices.
Like your text to emoji ratio.
Oh man, the selfies.
Selfie nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Sometimes the things we do or say can make others feel hurt, excluded, or isolated. Everything you say and do creates an impact.
How am I supposed to save the whole world?
You can't think about saving the world. You have to think about saving one person.
Because of you, someone's entire life can change. You don't have to be a superhero to have a positive impact.
Friends?
Friends.
Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back
Hey besties, welcome back to the Vida show. This is Julie. We have with us Shanny Town, Shanny Brown, Britt James Carpenter, and Fernando
Hola.
Mendez. Ooh.
Oh, you like that?
You hit us with some Spanish.
That's a little bit. That's about all the Spanish you get for today. That and taco riendo.
Ooh, that just made me
How
hungry.
long did it take you to come up with that one?
Hey, listen, I took 8 years of Spanish. I will tell you.
Okay, so let's do
Oh.
this. Vamos a hablar en español, entonces vamos a hacer todo esto.
It's not your show.
So did you pass those 8 years? in
I did.
Spanish? Well, then we're fine.
We're okay. Long time ago, but go ahead. Come on, we only have 12 minutes here.
Oh,
Let's
yes,
go.
we do.
All right, you guys,
Let's
we
go.
have 12 minutes and we're going to do our speed round.
Yes.
Chantel.
I have a quick question for Mr. Carpenter over here, right? So just to get back really quick for the listeners or people watching the YouTube stream, anybody who watches that, right, and they're like, now what? What do I do with this? What would be your advice to give to people like, this is where you can go now with this information and what we've shown you?
I think the most important thing for people to know is get out there and find out what local groups or organizations in the community are helping people that are going through homelessness, people that are in active addiction, people that are even in recovery, because the community needs that. It's just getting awareness. It's learning about it, educating themselves, and then be able to educate the community.
True. And these organizations, because they're out there doing these things, they already know how to navigate the waters and be out there in the streets. So
Absolutely.
get connected with them instead of even trying to go on your own.
Contact us at Fill the Unknown. Fill the
Fill the
Unknown
Unknown.
will definitely, give you the information we can. If we can't get you the information, we'll find somebody that can.
Awesome.
I love that.
Yeah, I agree with that. Look, it's like when there's major disaster, I always say, Red Cross. They're
Right.
already there. Give them the money. Let them do whatever.
Yeah.
Right. So I want to ask the same thing of you, Fernando, in terms of, finding your news and finding reputable sources. How do you go about that?
I begin to prepare my shows the day before because normally I don't have that much time in the morning.
Right.
I usually get, like, Billy Penn arrives in my mailbox at 8, and my show begins at 10, so I have to leave the house by 9, so approximately. So I have 1 hour in the morning, really, where I kind of to concentrate everything. I already decided I'll do regional news, national news, international news.
Okay.
Sometimes I do not get to the international part because the agenda is
So
so
much to
crowded.
talk about
Yeah.
here, yeah.
Yes, and especially nowadays. And I try to go to different sources too. NBC, CBS, ABC is the traditional ones, but CNN is a good source, and BBC.
Oh, yeah.
And it's BBC in Espanol and CNN in Espanol, so you get different points of view, and that's, and then I put everything together.
So stay educated. Make sure you're checking different sources and comparing them.
Yes.
Cool. Okay, so
Awesome
we have a
sauce.
speed round because we really want to get to know you guys a little bit more. We may not make it through 21 questions, but
We're
know what?
making it through. Come on.
We're gonna go through this. Okay,
Just say
ready?
Yes.
And you know what? Some of these are quirky, some of these are fun. This is what, us as millennials, we like to get to know you as a person before we can really engage in the content that you're putting out. So,
So much for the speed round.
what's your favorite thing in your closet right now? Go. We'll go around the room, starting with you, Chantal.
Everything in my closet right now, because of the weather, has to be a hoodie. I'm trying to go fast.
The white shirt.
My plaid jacket.
Apparently, these gray pants I have on today. Best piece of advice you've ever received?
Don't stop smiling.
Learn to speak properly.
People are hired for their skills and fired for their attitudes.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of some people be there too long with their attitudes. All right,
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm
Next,
shook.
different show.
Complacency.
And
Yes.
then mine is, do as much as you can for other people as long as it's not a detriment to yourself. Okay. Any pets?
Not currently. I had a dog named Cheyenne, rest her soul, years ago with my family, and I missed her.
And Richard
dearly.
Parker.
Yeah, but I'm more of a dog person. Richard Parker was cool, but I like dogs.
Richard Parker was a cat.
Yeah.
I had a dog too, a Shih Tzu,
Oh.
Jojo. He passed away in 2017.
Oh, rest in peace, Jojo.
I have 3 dogs and 4 cats and 2 geckos.
Really?
And what else?
And
else? I
a
feel
cleaning lady who loves me.
I love it. I have a cat named Catherine, and I love her so much. But she's partly human. Okay. What is
She
your
went
favorite?
viral on TikTok. Sorry.
She is viral on TikTok at the moment. Yeah. You know what? I've been putting you on the spot, Chantel, so we're going to start the other way now.
Oh, cool. Boom.
Okay. What is your favorite movie ever, Britt?
Favorite movie ever?
Yeah.
Ever. That's a really hard one to say. There's so many different ones. I mean, there are so many. I can't even.
Give us 3.
3.
Yeah, top 3,
Now
top
that's even
3.
more putting me on the spot.
Yeah,
3, my top 3.
Oh, gosh.
You know, I can't because I have so many different genres.
We'll put the disclaimer that it's the ones that only that you could think of right
I
now.
really like Jaws. I could watch Jaws over and
Jaws
over
is
and over
great.
again. Jaws is one of my favorite movies, actually, of all times. I really love E.T. E.T. is a great movie. I could watch that. And there's a movie that was with Steve Martin and a great ensemble cast called Mixed Nuts.
Ooh.
And if you haven't seen that, get that, especially with the holidays coming up. It's a great movie.
Okay.
So
I'm
those
actually gonna
3,
look that
I
up.
could definitely say.
Cool. Fernando.
The Godfather, 3 Days with the Condor with Redford early on.
Yeah.
It has to do with the CIA, and it's a pretty good picture. And Shawshank Redemption.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
And so is it all of the Godfathers, just to ask, or is it just 1, 2, 3, all of them
It's the
together?
first one.
Number one.
Number
Number
one.
one.
Okay.
Mhm, fair.
Or else you would have
Yeah.
said what parts.
They
Super
killed all
fair.
the good people.
Yeah.
Number one.
So I'm with Pritt. Like, this is really hard. What can I watch over and over again and not get tired of? I really enjoy Forrest Gump. Crooklyn. Really, really like that one. And I feel like I have to give a musical now, West Side Story.
Ooh, good one.
I can watch over and over again.
Can you
But
just sing
there's
it
so
to me?
And
many
just start
that I
singing,
really like.
Don't cry for. No, that's Argentina.
Argentina,
What's that? No,
yeah.
no. What's the other one?
Argentina.
Oh, no. What's the one that Natalie? There you go. That one.
Do, do, do,
Oh,
do, do,
Oh,
do,
there
do.
you go. Yeah. Oh, there you go.
America, photo for me in America.
Yeah, see?
Don't.
Okay.
So easy to get them off track.
One look at
top
us and they
three.
charge twice. Okay.
Okay, my top 3.
I
For
know
this
about you
season
can
right
get
now, I'm really into the Grinch, the one with Jim Carrey. Oh, it's so good.
Every year,
Every
Julie
year.
starts laughing like the Grinch.
Oh my goodness, it's so good. Crash, the one with all the stars and such a
Yeah.
good movie. And Despicable Me, the first one, only the first one. Yes, it's a child film. Mind your business. Okay.
Who asked you?
Describe yourself as a teenager in 3 words, starting with Fernando.
Can you remember back that long?
I was a very serious young man. I was very studious and very shy.
Serious, studious, and shy. Oh, that's good. Chantel.
Okay. I know I was talkative.
Your giggle.
But then oh my gosh. Talkative, loud.
Were you loud, friend?
Yeah, I think that's what Puerto Rican in me. I don't know.
Oh.
And you were singing too.
Right.
Right, musical.
Yes. You'd always find me in the church choir. You go
So
singing all the
good.
time.
So good.
Boom.
How about you, Britt?
Me, I was very curious because I was very naive, and I was always like a free spirit, though, willing to do whatever, go with the
Nice.
flow. Yeah.
I was intelligent, shy, and involved. What is your biggest pet peeve? You know what? I can go first on this one. My biggest pet peeve. Okay. I cannot stand
I know what she's gonna
stand
say.
when people chew loud, like mouth noise. Oh my gosh. It
My
drives
wife
me
is
crazy.
The same way.
Oh, you're the same way, Fernando?
Oh, my wife.
Oh.
Yeah, the slightest sound of slur.
Drives me nuts. Why would you? Why
Oh
would
my
you do
gosh, it
that?
makes me want to pun a baby.
Julie can hear
I mean,
somebody
not really,
from like down the hall in another office.
Yeah.
You hear the way that person's chewing? I'm like, what?
Who's next?
I don't know.
Britt.
Me, I
have
I don't know. I think my biggest pet peeve is when people don't leave things the way they found it, or not better. Like push a damn chair in.
Right.
You get up from a table. You know that stuff really bothers
Was the
me.
door open when you?
Yeah, you live in a barn. Yeah, I just that sort of stuff. I don't
Yeah.
know. Common sense stuff.
Yeah. Shannon, you said you had one.
I do have one. My pet peeve is if I am like polite to you and I don't get a you're welcome or a thank you back. I can't stand that. Happened this morning at the Dunkin' Donuts.
Did it? That's probably because you didn't get me one.
It might have been clear. Yes. No, but I was back in my parents' town. But yeah, if I'm saying thank you and you're just
No home training.
yeah, like just say you're welcome.
Right. Ugh.
That just grinds my gears. It really does.
How about you, Fernando?
My pet peeve are parents who don't supervise their children.
Ugh.
Restaurants,
them
hotels.
on
the list.
The children are they're not that funny,
Yeah.
It's your child. Keep him close to you. I don't
Yeah.
care.
You know what? I can relate to that because I'm the one that the kids always come to in those places. For
Like
some
I'm just
reason.
trying to eat.
Okay, next question. Ooh, this is a good one. Dark chocolate or milk chocolate? Go.
Ooh, milk chocolate.
Milk chocolate.
Milk chocolate.
Dark chocolate. I feel like it's
can
good for
eat
my
dark
skin.
chocolate now, but yeah, if I have to pick one, I'm going with the milk with
Ooh,
nuts.
I love milk chocolate too. I'm just being smart. If you could be from any other decade or era, which would it be?
Oh my gosh.
I would say the 20s.
Really?
I'd be a flapper.
Oh, then you could be friends with Fernando then.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
No, Louis XIV.
I actually would love to be from honestly like 1776 era because like I am a huge bicentennial freak. I'm a huge history freak. All that. So that would be
Cool.
cool.
I would say the 1960s.
You want to relive them again? They were that good the first time for him.
Everyone giggled. Everyone. Even Dylan, our great sound man engineer in here.
And I got to go to the bathroom. I'm really holding it now.
Okay, so this is tough for me. I'm somewhere with the 70s or the 80s just because of the music.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, we're going to end the questions there because we want to give you our final thought. Thank you guys so much for being here today. This has been such a blessing of a show, and I feel like I have really gotten a lot from just getting to know you guys. So one theme that we had today is really finding out what your purpose is in life, what your passion is, and going after that and being educated about how you do it. So here's our final thought of the day. When you get up in the morning, what are you fighting for? Think about that. That's your why. Who's fighting against you? Forget about them. Let them step aside. This isn't supposed to be easy. That's why, though many try, you are one of the few standing here. Bravo. Again, your dreams are, a dream until you put them into action, like standing and being the main attraction. Yeah, it's scary. Yeah, everyone is going to be looking at you, but that's okay because it's better than being a you that is disappointed in you. So, what do you want to be? Where do you want to go? What's this life about? You have that. That's your why. It's in your mind. Make everything about that. So what sets apart the successful from the ones who fall into pieces? It's that one thing that the Bible, to Gary Vee, everyone teaches. It's that perfect mix of faith and action. Listen, your purpose, your life has a purpose. Find it and be motivated by it. When some would give up, you won't see it as an option. You have something to work for. You have a purpose. You have a reason to take action. So jot this down. It will save you strife. No guru, no plan, no strategy will mean more than finding your purpose in life. Thank you guys for listening to the Viera Vida show. Tune in every Saturday at 10 a.m. and Tuesday at 2 p.m. for more Viera Vida.
Yes, and follow Britt, James Carpenter, Fernando Mendez. Thank you so much again for being here. And Philly Unknown Project.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies. Yes.
Thank you for being here.
Hey. Yay.
Thank you for being a friend. Oh, there it is.
Travel down the road.
Travel down
Sing it, Britt. Let me start a band.